Teflon John.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Teflon John, coming to you with episode number 5 of the I Am Teflon John podcast show. And today's episode is titled, Don't Take Your Time for Granted. And I just want you to do me a favor and share this episode or share my podcast with at least 5 of your friends. You know, let's get it out there. Let's get this good information out there. I also want you to comment and give me your feedback. You know, you can email me or just comment straight on my blog site or comment on SoundCloud. But I know I'm normally motivational and I'm normally inspirational, but I must be real. Like I said, today's episode is take advantage of your time. Or don't take your time for granted. Lately, in my personal family, in my personal life, we've experienced a tragedy. And, a lot of times, it makes you reflect and it makes you look at things differently. So it kind of changed the whole topic. It changed the content of it. It changed the way I'm going to deliver it. But don't take your time for granted. If you wanted to check your bank account and see how much money you had, you can call your bank. You can go into the bank. You can put your ATM card in the ATM machine. You can check on an app on your cell phone, and it tells you how much money you have or money is deposited. It tells you your balance, and that's how you can know and go about spending your money. Well, I believe when we're born, we're all issued a certain amount of time, and that currency is time. And things that we do can, shorten that time. I believe things that we do affect that time. But the fact that we don't know and there's no way to check the time we have should ultimately alter the way that we live our lives, But the thing that most of us do is we live our lives like we have 1,000 years to live. We live our lives like we have 100 years to get it right. But what I want to express to you, what I want to stress to you is you don't know how much time you have here on this earth. You just don't. And being real with you, a lot of times we push things off to tomorrow, not knowing if we're going to be here tomorrow. And what happens is we just become people that take people for granted, take relationships for granted. We take experiences for granted, or we take statuses for granted because we say, hey, we'll do it tomorrow. But look, tomorrow isn't promised to anyone. And I just want you to look at, normally we talk about goals and ambitions, and that's true, yeah. But I want you to look and think about your loved ones, right? If you're married, think about your husband, think about your wife right now. If you're a parent, think about your daughter, your son. If you're a son or a daughter, think about your mother or your father. If you're a family member, which most of us are, think about your cousins, your aunts, your nieces, your nephews, your brothers, your sisters, any sibling. Think about your friends, think about your friendship. This is what I want you to think about, right? If it all ended today, would you have a clear conscience? And that's the question I had to ask myself, because being real with you, outside of the personal tragedy, me and my father don't have a real relationship, and we don't. And he's never been there. It's really no secret. And, we've had some ups and downs, and for a while I just didn't want to call him, didn't want to reach out, and I felt like after this tragedy happened, it made me revisit that, and I'm thinking, wow, can I be more mature? Is it worth it? Is it worth it not to try? So now I'm just putting forth an effort, and I actually talked to him this morning, and we had a decent conversation. So it may be someone out there listening to this podcast, right, that has a relationship that needs mending, that may be pushing your family off to the side to hang with your friends or go clubbing at night, or that may be pushing your parents off to the side, because you're doing so things and getting so busy. Don't become so busy with life that you neglect the most important things. Family is here to stay. Friends are come and go. Family is here to stay. And I'm all about family. It's no secret. You know what I mean? I have a beautiful daughter, wonderful son, beautiful wife, and a dog named Oscar. And darn it, they mean the world to me. First of all, God comes first. God bless me with those things I just told you about. I put God first, and I believe in God, and I know that God makes no mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Even if at time I don't understand it, I know I must trust that God's will is done and God does the right thing for our lives. And sometimes, God teaches us and ministers to us in moments of tragedy and moments of triumph. But it's up to us to sit back and just believe and trust God. Like, hey, what are you showing me? And I trust what you're showing me. But he's given us all a certain amount of time. Now, here's the thing. I want you to ask yourself another question. If your life ended today, what would people say about you? And I want you to think about this too, on a side note. All your personal accomplishments, your raises on your jobs, your accolades, your trophies, not that. What will people say about you? What did you do with your time? How did you inspire people? How did you move people? How did you help people? How did you impact people? When people seen you coming, did they cringe and say, oh man, here he come? Or did people say, oh man, here he comes? What will people say about you at the end of the day? And where's your value system lies? What are you putting in priority? Because I'm telling you, life is so funny. You never know. That's the most certain thing about life is uncertainty. The most certain thing about life is uncertainty because we don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. We don't know what the next minute is going to bring. We don't know what the next day is going to bring. And because we're certain about the uncertainty of life, it should make us more conscious of what we're doing with our time. You know what I mean? Like, it's people out here that haven't seen or called their relatives in months, years. There's people out here that have things that they need to do in life that they know they've been moved to do, but they keep pushing it off. I'm telling you, everybody knows somebody that was here today and left today. Not here today, gone tomorrow, but here today and left today. So my thing to you is, what more do you have to do to get going? Tomorrow's not promised, people. It's not. It's not. And I've seen it too many times. Like, it's not. Like, it's times where I've taken actual time for granted. And people in relationships, like, hey, you're going to be here, so I'll put you to the side. But the reality of it is, you don't know if they're going to be here. So take time today. Do for them today. Spend time with them today, because I'm telling you, you never know. You never know. But when it's all said and done, what are people going to say about you? So like I said, the accolades, the trophies and all that good stuff is stuff that you've done. But after that passes over, right, and you're gone and everybody's, remembering you, what are they going to remember about you? What did you contribute to life? What did you contribute to other people's life? What did you contribute to your family? Think about it, because raises and money and all that stuff is gone now. What did you contribute? What legacy are you living? What legacy are you leaving for people to actually live through? You know what I mean? Like, normally when great people go on or people not here anymore, they want to carry out their legacy because the way they lived their life was awesome. They helped people. They were great. You know what I mean? So you have to look at life that way. Like, okay, if it all ended today, what would they say about me? You know what I'm saying? Like, what would people be doing to carry on the legacy that I've built? Don't take time for granted. You can't call a place and say, hey, man, how much time do I have left on this earth? Hey, man, how much time do I have left with so-and-so? You don't know, so treat it like you don't know. You see what I'm saying? Somebody said live every day like it's your last, right? And I believe it's become so cliche-ish because no one lives every day like it's their last that I know of. We all get tired. I don't feel like it. I don't feel like going. I don't feel like spending time with you. I don't feel like doing this. And then when it all happens, we feel crazy because now we feel so much guilt, but it's too late. Do what you can do now for somebody. Don't wait. Do not wait. Life is funny. Life is funny. We don't know. A lot of times God has set stuff up and you be like, man, why am I bumping into this person? Or why did this person come on my mind? Or why is this person placed on my heart? And you feel like, man, I should give them a call or reach out. Take the warning. Reach out and call. It's not like when I called my dad, right? It took little to no effort to dial his number. You know why? Because first of all, it was stored in my phone as a contact. So I go to the contact and hit a button. I really didn't have to dial numbers. I don't even have to know his number by heart, which I don't. But it took more effort to kill the pride I had than it was to actually dial the number. So with technology now, with Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, smartphones, FaceTime, there's no excuse why we can't keep in touch. No excuse. Email. No excuse. The the forms of communication they have are not like years ago where if you didn't know your sister or brother, didn't know where they live, now you can just search by name. Search by name. You see what I'm saying? So it's no excuse. But if you have any family issues today, ask yourself, is the dumb stuff worth it? Is the small thing that we don't talk about, is it actually worth it? If something happens to your loved one so-and-so, or loved one this and that, is it worth it, the reason why you're not speaking? Let's put the pride to the side and let's get it right with people, because I'm telling you, you don't know how much time you got left. You know what I mean? And you can look at the world today. You watch the news of CNN. Time is winding down for everyone. And you have to look at, what am I doing with the time I have left? You know, you can't keep saying, oh, I'm young. I got forever. Oh, you're young. You know, it's not like that. They live young, die young. You know what I'm saying? There used to be people who lived till they were old, but with these circumstances, it's, you know, politicians practicing on a baseball field, and the baseball field gets shot up. Just yesterday, a doctor went into a hospital, shot the hospital up. You know what I mean? So you never know you never know where your last minute is going to be, when your last minute is going to be. So I'm telling you, you need to enjoy that time while you have it. Enjoy it, get things right, because I'm telling you, like, it's not going to be easy to let go of pride and to let go of issues, but it's going to be worth it. I guarantee you it's going to be worth it. You know what I mean? And I just wanted, through this podcast, man, I would feel bad to not be real with y'all. It's one thing, like I said, for me to be motivational, go after your dreams, rah. But if I don't tell you this, that, yo, you don't have that much time, or you don't know how much time you have, I would be remiss not to tell you. Like, this is some real stuff that I'm talking about, because no one knows the time they have left. So let's act like that. Stop acting like you got 1,000 years to get it done. Stop acting like you got 100 years to get it done. Stop acting like you got 100 years to get it right with your spouse. Get it right today. Don't lay down on your wrath. The Bible says that. Don't lay down on your wrath, because tomorrow you don't know. You know what I'm saying? This may be one of the shortest podcast episodes I'd ever do, but I think I've got my point across. But I want to tell you guys, love your loved ones. Give them a hug. As soon as you stop listening to this podcast, tell them you love them. Call them. As soon as you finish listening to this podcast, tell them you love them. See how they're doing. Be genuine. Be sincere. Schedule time to do something with your family. That's what I want you to do. That is your assignment from Teflon John. Schedule time to do something with your family. You see what I'm saying? Schedule time. That's my assignment to all my followers and listeners. But remember, guys, don't take your time for granted. And if you like this podcast, and if you think this podcast could help anyone, share it with at least 5 people. You know, and I would love to know your feedback so I can know if I'm helping you all. You can email me at iamteflonjohn@iamteflonjohn.com. You can email me at contact@iamteflonjohn.com. You can email me at iamteflonjohn@gmail.com. You know, or just comment on my blog site under podcast. But I need to know, am I helping you guys? But look, I want you guys to have a great life, have a great rest of your day or rest of your evening, or whenever you're listening to this. And remember, don't take your time for granted. Call your loved ones and tell them you love them. And as I always say, one love, be blessed.